Namaste, everyone. This is Bhavani. I will be reading chapter 18 and 19 of Sai Satcharitra. So let's begin. So these two chapters have four sections to it. The first section is stories of Mr. Sate and Mrs. Deshmukh. So in the last two chapters, Hemant Pant described how a rich gentleman aspiring for quick Brahmanyana was treated by Baba. And now, in these two chapters, he describes how a Hemant Pant was accepted and blessed by Baba. How Baba encouraged good thoughts and fructified them and gives him teachings regarding self improvement, slander, and remuneration for labor. So let's start. It is well known fact that the Sadguru looks first at the qualifications of his disciples and then gives them suitable instructions without unsettling their minds in the least. And he leads them on towards the goal of self realization. In this respect, some say that what the Sadguru teaches or instructs should not be divulged to others. They believe that these instructions become useless if they are published. This view is not correct. The Sadguru is like a monsoon cloud. He pours down profusely his nectar like teachings. These we should enjoy and assimilate to our heart's content and then serve others with them without any reserve. We should apply this rule not only to what he teaches us when we are awake, but to the visions he gives us in our dreams. To quote an instance, Buddha Kaushik Rishi composed his celebrated Ram Raksha Stotra based on what he had seen in his dreams. Like a loving mother forcing bitter but wholesome medicines down the throats of her children for the sake of their health, Sai Baba imparted spiritual instructions to his devotees. His method was not veiled or secret, but quite open. Devotees who followed his instructions attained their objective. Sadgurus like Sai Baba broaden our intellect and show us the divine beauty of the self and fulfill our tender longings of devotion. When this is done, our desire for sense objects vanishes. The twin fruits of viveka, discrimination, and vairagya, dispassion or non attachment, are attained, and knowledge sprouts up even in our sleep. We get all this when we come in contact with saints, Sadgurus, serve them, and secure their love. The Lord, who fulfills the desire of his devotees, comes to our aid, gets rid of our troubles and sufferings, and makes us happy. This progress or development is entirely due to the help of the Sadguru, who is regarded as the Lord himself. Therefore, we should always be eager to meet the Sadguru, hear his stories, fall at his feet, and serve him. Now we come to our main story, how Hemant Pant was accepted and blessed. Mr. Sate's story. There was a gentleman named Mr. Sate who had attained some publicity many years ago during the Crawford regime. Lord Ree, the governor of Bombay at the time, quashed Mr. Sate's popularity, and Mr. Sate suffered severe losses in his trade. Other adverse circumstances also gave him a lot of trouble and made him sad and dejected. Restless, he thought of leaving home and going to a distant place. Man does not generally think of God, but when difficulties and calamities overtake him, he turns to God and prays for relief. If his evil actions have come to an end, God arranges his meeting with a saint who gives him proper direction regarding his welfare. Mr. Sate had a similar experience. His friend advised him to go to Shirdi, where so many people were flocking to see Shirdi Baba's darshan, to receive his darshan, which helped them attain peace of mind and the satisfaction of their wants. He liked the idea, at once came to Shirdi in 1917 upon seeing Baba's form, which was like eternal Brahma, self-luminous, spotless, and pure. His mind lost its restlessness and became calm and composed. He thought that it was the accumulation of merits in his former births that had brought him to Baba's holy feet. He was a man of strong will. He at once began to study the Guru Charitra. When the reading was finished in 7 days, Baba gave him a vision one night. It was to this effect. Baba, with the Guru Charitra in his hand, was explaining its contents to Mr. Sathe, who was sitting in front of Baba and listening carefully. When he woke up, he remembered the dream and felt very happy. He thought that it was extremely kind of Baba to awaken souls like his that were snoring away in ignorance and make them taste the nectar of Guru Charitra. The next day, he informed Kaka Sahib Dikshit of his vision and requested him to consult Sai Baba regarding its meaning or significance and whether 1 week's reading was sufficient or whether he should begin again. Kaka Sahib Dikshit, when he got a suitable opportunity, asked Baba, Deva, what did you suggest to Mr. Sathe by his vision? Should he stop or continue the Saptaha? He's a simple devotee. His desire should be fulfilled, and the vision explained to him. He should be blessed. Then Baba replied, he should read 1 more Saptah of the book. If the work is studied carefully, the devotee will become pure and will be benefited. The Lord will be pleased and will rescue him from the bondage of mundane existence. At this time, Hemant Pant was present there. He was shampooing Baba's legs. When he heard Baba's words, he thought to himself, what? Mr. Sathe read for just a week and got a reward, and I have been reading it for 40 years with no result. His 7-day stay here becomes fruitful, while my 7-year stay from 1910 to 17 is worth nothing. Like a chatak bird, I'm always waiting for the merciful cloud to pour its nectar on me and bless me with his instructions. No sooner did this thought cross his mind that Baba knew what Hemant Pant was thinking. It was the experience of Baba's devotees that Baba read and understood all their thoughts, and that he suppressed the negative thoughts and encouraged the good ones. Having read Hemant Pant's mind, Baba at once asked him to get up. Go to Shama, Madhav Rao Deshpande. Get a 15 rupee as dakshina from him. Sit and chat with him for a while and then return. Mercy dawned in Baba's mind, and so he issued this order. And who could disobey Baba's orders? Hemant Pant immediately left the masjid and went to Shama's house. Shama had just bathed and was wearing a dhoti. He came out and asked Hemant Pant, how is it that you are here now? It seems that you have come from the masjid. Why do you look restless and dejected? And why are you alone? Please sit and rest while I do my worship. In the meanwhile, please help yourself to pan vida, leaves with betel nuts, and let us then have a pleasant chat. After saying this, he went inside and Hemant Pant sat alone in the front veranda. He saw a well-known Marathi book named Nath Bhagwat on the windowsill. This is a commentary by Saint Eknath on the 11th chapter of the bigger Sanskrit work, the Bhagavad. At Sai Baba's suggestion, Babu Sahib Jog and Kaka Sahib Dikshit read daily in Shirdi the Bhagavad Gita with this Marathi commentary named Bhavarta Deepika or Jnaneshwari, a dialogue between Krishna and his devotee and friend Arjuna. Not Bhagavad, a dialogue between Krishna and his servant devotee Uddhava, and also Eknath's other big work. Bhavarta Ramayana. When devotees came to Baba and asked him certain questions, he sometimes answered them in part and asked them to go and listen to the readings of the above mentioned works, as these are the main treatises of Bhagavad Dharma. When the devotees went and listened, they got full and satisfactory replies to their questions. Hemant Pant also used to read daily a few portions of the book, not Bhagavad. That day, he did not complete the daily portion of his reading, but had left it unfinished in order to accompany certain devotees who were going to the masjid. When he took the book from Shama's windowsill, and casually opened it, he found, to his surprise, that the unfinished portion turned up. He thought that Baba had sent him very kindly to Shama's house to enable him to complete his daily reading. So he went through the unfinished portion and completed it. As soon as this was over, Shama, after performing his worship, came out and following conversation took place between them. Hemant Pant, I have come with a message from Baba. He had asked me to return with 15 rupees as dakshina from you, and also to sit with you for a while, have a pleasant chat, and then return to the masjid with you. Shama, surprised, said, I have no money to give. Please take my 15 namaskara in lieu of dakshina. Hemant Pant said, okay, all right, your namaskaras are accepted. Now let us chat for a while. Tell me some stories and leelas of Baba which will destroy our sins. Shama, then sit here for a while. Wonderful is the leela of this god, Baba. You know it already. I am a village rustic. While you are an enlightened citizen, you have seen some leela since you came here. How could I describe them to you? Well, eat the pan vida while I go in and get dressed. In a few minutes, Shama came out and began talking to Hemant Pant. He said, the leela of this god, Baba, is inscrutable. There is no end to his leela. Who can really see them? He plays with his leela and yet he is unaffected by them. Why do we rustics know? Why does Baba not tell stories himself? Why does he send learned men like you to fools like me? His ways are inconceivable. I can only say that they are not human. With this preface, Shama added, I now remember a story which I shall narrate to you. I know it personally. As a devotee is resolute and determined, so is Baba's immediate response. Sometimes Baba puts the devotees to severe tests and give them updesh, which is instructions. As soon as Hemant Pant heard the word updesh, a flash of lightning crossed through his mind. He at once remembered the story of Mr. Sate's Guru Charitra reading and thought that the Baba might have sent him to Shama in order to bring peace to his restless mind. However, he curbed this feeling and began to listen to Shama's stories. They all showed how kind and affectionate Baba was to his devotees. Hemant Pant began to feel a sort of joy while hearing them. Then Shama began to tell the following story. Mrs. Radhabai's Deshmukh's story. There was an old woman named Radhabai. Upon hearing of Baba's fame, she came to Shirdi, with the people of Samgamner. She received Baba's darshan and was very satisfied. She loved Baba dearly and resolved in her mind that she would accept Baba as a guru and get some updesh, spiritual advice from him. She knew nothing else. She was determined to fast herself unto death until Baba accepted her and gave her some updesh or mantra. She stayed in her lodging and stopped eating any food or drink water for 3 days. I was frightened by this ordeal of the old woman and interceded with Baba on her behalf. I said, Deva, what is this you have started? You drag so many people here. You know that old lady. She's very obstinate and depends on you entirely. She has resolved to fast unto death if you do not accept and instruct her. If anything worse happens, people will blame you and say that Baba did not instruct her and then she just met her death. So please have some mercy on her. Bless her and instruct her. On seeing her determination, Baba sent for her and changed her mind by addressing her as follows. O mother, why are you subjecting yourself to unnecessary tortures and hastening your death? You are really my mother and I am your child. Take pity on me and hear me through. I should tell you my own story, which, if you listen to it carefully, will do you good. I had a guru. He was a great saint and was very merciful. I served him for very long, and yet he still would not blow any mantra into my ears. I had a keen desire never to leave him, but to stay with him and serve him, and at all cost receive some instructions from him. But he had his own way. He first got my head shaved and asked me for 2 paisas as dakshina. I gave the same at once. Since my guru was perfect, why should he ask for money? And how should he be called desireless? I replied that he never cared for coins. What had he to do with them? He had 2 paisas. His 2 paisas were firm, faith, and patience or perseverance. I gave these 2 paisas or things to him, and he was pleased. I resorted to my guru for 12 years. He raised me. There was no dearth of food and clothing. He was full of love. He was love incarnate. How can I describe it? He loved me the most. Rare is a guru like this. When I looked at him, he seemed as if he was in deep meditation. And then we were both filled with bliss. Night and day I gazed at him with no thought of hunger and thirst. Without him, I felt restless. I had no other object to meditate on or any other thing other than my guru to attend to. He was my sole refuge. My mind was always fixed on him. This is 1 paisa of dakshina. Sabodhi, patience or perseverance, is the other paisa. I waited patiently and very long on my guru and served him. This saburi will ferry you across the sea of mundane existence. Saburi is the manliness in man, removes all sins and affliction, gets rid of calamities in various ways, and casts aside all fears, and ultimately gives you success. Saburi is the mine of virtues and the consort of good thought. Nishta, faith, and Saburi, patience, are like twin sisters that love each other very intimately. My guru never expected anything from me. He never neglected me, but protected me at all times. I lived with him and was sometimes away from him, yet I never felt the want or absence of his love. He always protected me by his glance, just as a tortoise feeds her young ones, whether they are near her or away from her, on the other side of the riverbank. Oh, mother, my guru never taught me any mantra. Then how can I blow any mantra into your ears? Just remember that guru's tortoise, like Loving glance gives us happiness. Do not try to get a mantra or updesha from anybody. Make me the sole object of your thoughts and actions, and you will no doubt attain Paramatma, the spiritual goal of life. Look at me wholeheartedly, and I, in turn, look at you similarly. Sitting in this masjid, I speak the truth and nothing but the truth. No sadhana or proficiency in the 6 Shastras are necessary. Have faith and confidence in your Guru. Believe fully that the Guru is the sole actor or doer. Blessed is he who knows the greatness of his Guru and thinks him to be the Hari, Hara, and Brahma, Trimurti incarnate. Instructed in this way, the old lady was convinced. She bowed to Baba and gave up her fast. Hearing this story carefully and attentively, and noting its significance and appropriateness, Hemant was moved from top to toe. He was overflowing with joy. His throat was choked, and he was unable to say a single word. Shama, on seeing him in this condition, asked him, "What is the matter with you? Why are you silent? How many leelas of Baba do you want me to describe?" Just at that time, the bell in the masjid began to ring, announcing that the noon worship and arti service ceremony has begun. Therefore, Shama and Hemant Pant hurried to the masjid. Bapu Sahib Jog had just started the worship. Women were standing inside the masjid, men were standing below in the open courtyard, and they were all singing the arti loudly in chorus to the accompaniment of drums. Shama walked up, pulling Hemant Pant with him. He sat to the right and Hemant in front of Baba. On seeing them, Baba asked Hemant to give the dakshina brought from Shama. He replied that Shama gave namaskaram in lieu of rupees that he had there in person. Baba said, "All right, now let me know whether you both had a chat. If so, tell me all that you talked about," not minding the sounds of the bell, the drums, and the singing. Hemant was eager to tell Baba what they had talked about and started to narrate it. Baba also appeared anxious to hear about it, and so he leaned forward to listen. Hemant said everything that they talked about was very pleasant, and that the story of the old lady was especially wonderful. He said that on hearing it, he thought the Baba's Leela were inexplicable, and that was under the guise of the story. He had in fact received a blessing. Baba then said, "Wonderful is that story. How are you blessed? I would like to know everything in detail from you. So tell me all about it." Then Hemant related in full the story which he had heard a little while before, which had made a lasting impression on his mind. Hearing this, Baba was very pleased and asked him, "Did the story strike you? And did you catch its significance?" He replied, "Yes, Baba. The restlessness of my mind has vanished, and I have got true peace and rest, and come to know the true path." Then Baba spoke as follows: "My method is quite unique. Remember well this one story, and it will be very useful. To get the knowledge, realization of the self, dhyana, which is meditation, is necessary. If you practice it continuously, the vrittis, the thoughts, will be pacified. Then, being quite desireless, you should meditate on the Lord who is in all creatures. And when the mind is concentrated, the goal will be achieved. Meditate always on my formless nature, which is knowledge incarnate, consciousness, and bliss. If you cannot do this, meditate on my form from top to toe, as you see here. As you go on doing this, your vrittis will concentrate on one point, and the distinction between the dhyata, meditator, and dhyana, active meditation, and dheya, the object meditated upon, will be lost, and the meditator will be one with the consciousness and will merge in the Brahman. The mother tortoise is on one bank of the river, and her young ones are on the other side. She gives neither milk nor warmth to them. Her mere glance gives them nutrition. The young ones do nothing but remember, meditate upon their mother. The tortoise glance is, to the young ones, downpour of nectar, the only source of sustenance and happiness. Similar is the relationship between the guru and disciples. As Baba finished saying these last words, the chorus of the arti stopped and everyone shouted out loud in one voice, "Victory to our Sadguru Sai Maharaj, who is existence, knowledge, and bliss." Dear readers, let us imagine that we are at this time standing among the crowd in the masjid, and let us join them in this Jaya Jaykar. After the Aarti ceremony was over, prasad was distributed. Bapu Sahib Jog advanced as usual and, after bowing to Baba, gave into his hand a handful of sugar candy. Baba gave this entire quantity to Hemant Pant and said to him, "If you take this story to heart and remember it well, your state will be as sweet and sugar candy. All your desires will be fulfilled and you will be happy." Hemant Pant bowed before Baba and implored, "Do favor me like this. Bless and protect me always." Baba replied, "Hear this story, meditate on it, and assimilate its spirit. Then you will always remember and meditate on the Lord, who will manifest himself to you." Dear readers, Hemant Pant got the prasad of sugar candy then, and we now get the prasad of this sugar candy, this story. Let us drink it to our heart's content, meditate on it, and assimilate it, and be strong and happy by Baba's grace. Towards the end of the 19th chapter, Hemant Pant had dealt with some other matters which are given below. Baba's advice regarding our behavior. The following words that Baba said are general and invaluable. If they are remembered and acted upon, they will always do you good. Unless there is some relationship or connection, nobody goes anywhere. If any men or creature come to you, do not discourteously drive them away, but receive them well and treat them with due respect. God will certainly be pleased if you give water to the thirsty, bread to the hungry, clothes to the naked, and give strangers a place to rest. If anybody wants any money from you and you are not inclined to give, do not give, but do not bark at them like a dog. Let anybody speak hundreds of things against you. Do not resent by giving them any bitter reply. If you always tolerate such things, you will certainly be happy. Let the world go topsy-turvy. You remain where you are, standing or staying in your own place. Watch calmly the show of all things passing before you. Demolish the walls of difference that separate you from me, and then the road of our meeting will be clear and open. The sense of differentiation as I and thou is the barrier that keeps the discipline away from his guru. And unless this is destroyed, this state of union or atonement is not possible. Allah Malik, God is the sole proprietor. Nobody else is our protector. His method of work is extraordinary, invaluable, and inscrutable. His will be done, and he will show us the way and satisfy our heart's desires. It is on account of a past relationship that we have come together. Thus let us love and serve each other and be happy. He who attains the supreme goal of life is immortal and happy, while all others merely exist. Encouraging good thoughts. It is interesting to note how Sai Baba encouraged good thoughts. You have to surrender yourself completely to him with love and devotion, and then you will see how he helps you with so many things. A saint once said that when you get a good thought immediately after awakening from your sleep, and if you cultivate the same thought during the day, your intellect will unfold and you your mind will attain calmness. Hemantpant wanted to try this. On a Wednesday night, before going to bed, he thought, tomorrow is Thursday, an auspicious day, and the place, Shirdi, is so holy. So let me remember and chant Ramanama, various names of Lord Ram, all day. When he woke up the next morning, he remembered without any effort the names of Rama and was very pleased. Then, after finishing his morning duties, he went to see Baba with flowers. When he left Dikshit Vada and was passing by Buri's Vada, the present Samadhi Mandir, he heard a beautiful song that was being sung in front of Baba in the masjid by Arunga Patkar. The song was Guru Kripa Kripanjan Payo Me Bhai by Eknath, in which Eknath says that he got bliss in the form of Guru's grace, which opened his vision and made him see Rama in his dreams and everywhere. There were so many songs, and yet why was this particular song chosen by Arunga Bhatkar? Is this not a miracle arranged by Baba to feed Hemantpant's desire to sing Rama Nama daily, all day? All saints agree on the stress and efficacy of chanting God's name. It is effective in fulfilling devotees' ambition and in protecting and saving them from all calamities. Our next section is Variety and Updesh. A slanderer is corrected. Sai Baba required no special place or special time to give instructions. Whenever any occasion demanded it, he gave them freely. Once it so happened that a devotee reviled another behind his back. Forgetting merits, he dwelt on the faults of his brother and spoke so sarcastically that those who heard him were disgusted. Generally, we see that people have a tendency to scandalize others necessarily, and this brings on hatred and ill will. Saints see scandal in another light. They say that there are various ways of cleansing or removing dirt, but a scandalmonger has a way of his own. He removes the dirt, faults of others by his tongue. Thus, in a way, he obliges the person whom he relieves, and for this he is to be thanked. Sai Baba and his own method of correcting the scandalmonger. He knew by his omniscience that the slanderer had done, and when he met him at noon near the Lendi, Baba pointed out to him a pig that was eating filth near the fence and said to him, "Behold how with relish it is gorging dung. Your conduct is similar. You go on reveling your own brethren to your heart's content. After performing many deeds of merit, you are born a man, and if you act like this, will Shirdi help you in any way?" Needless to say, the devotees took the lesson to heart. In this way, Baba gave instructions whenever necessary. If these are born in our minds and acted upon, our spiritual ego, self-realization is not far off. There is a proverb which says, "If my Lord exists, he will feed me on my cot." This proverb is only true with respect to food and clothing. If anyone trusts in this and sits idly and does nothing in spiritual matters, he will be ruined. One has to exert himself to the utmost in order to attain self-realization. The more he endeavors, the better for him. Baba said that he was omnipresent and was not limited. To resolve the misunderstanding of those who thought that Baba was only his body, he incarnated himself in this form. If any devotee meditated on him day and night with complete self-surrender, he experienced union with him. He who wants to get rid of the cycle of births and deaths should live a righteous life with his mind calm and composed. He should always engage himself in good actions, should do his duties and surrender himself, heart and soul, to Baba. He need not be afraid of anything. He who trusts Baba wholeheartedly, hears and expounds his Leela, and does not think of anything else, is sure to attain self-realization. Baba asked many to remember his name and to surrender to him. But to those who wanted to know who they were, he advised Shravanam, study, and Mananam, meditation. To some, he advised remembering God's name, to others, hearing his Leelas, and to some, the worship of his feet, while to others, reading and studying Adhyatma, Ramayanam, Jnaneshwari, and other sacred scriptures. He made some sit near his feet, while he sent some to Khandoba temple, and others he advised the repetition of the 1,000 names of Vishnu, and to some the study of Chandoga Upanishad and the Gita. There were no limits to or restrictions to his instructions. To some he gave them in person, and others through visions in their dreams. To one addicted to alcohol, he appeared in his dream, sat on his chest, pressed on it, and only let him go after the devotee promised not to touch the liquor anymore. To some, he explained mantras like Guru Brahma in their dreams. To other devotees who were practicing Hatha Yoga, he sent word that they should stop Hatha Yoga practices, sit quietly, and wait. Saburi. It is impossible to describe all these ways and methods. In ordinary worldly dealings, he set examples by his actions, one of which is given below. Remuneration for labor. One day at noon, Baba walked up to Radha Krishna Mai's house and said, "Bring me a ladder." A few men brought one and leaned it against the wall, as directed by Baba. He climbed up to the roof of Vaman Gondkar's house, walked over the roof of Radha Krishna Mai's house, and then climbed off the other side. No one knew why Baba did this. Radha Krishna Mai was at the time suffering from malaria. It may have been to drive off the fever that he climbed on the roof. Immediately after getting off the ladder, Baba paid 2 rupees each to the person who brought the ladder. Somebody asked Baba why he paid so much for this. He replied that nobody should take the labor of another in vain. The worker should be paid his dues promptly and liberally. Bow to Sri Sai. Peace to be to all.